Hey, how's it going? So in this video, I'm going to be talking about Brexit and its implications for Asians. So in a nutshell, I'm just going to explain what Brexit is, and then I'm going to be talking about if there are any benefits of Brexit for people who are in Asia and who are considering moving to the UK. So Brexit essentially means the exit of UK from the European Union. Until now, until January 31st, 2020, the UK was functioning. The UK was also respecting the laws of the European Union, but after that, since it has exited from the Union, it is no longer part of the European Union and it does not have to obey the laws of the European Union. What it also means is that, and the more important thing is that the free movement of people, so until now, until January 31st, 2020, people in Europe could move into the UK without having to apply for a visa. So it was just like moving from one city to another in the same country. So because the European Union was one single unit, this was possible, but now it will no longer be possible. That means anyone who's wishing to enter UK from Europe on a European passport will have to apply for a visa, and anyone in the UK with a British passport who's wishing to enter Europe will have to apply for a visa. How this thing is going to go plan out to be, how the visa process is going to be, we're going to have a look at it only when there is a formal rule for that from the UK, because right now the UK is still working on the rules and the trade regulations and everything. So with that aside, the basic thing that you should remember, the basic thing that you should focus on at the moment is that there will be no free movement of people from Europe to the UK and vice versa. So how this benefits people who are in Asia who are thinking of moving to the UK. So because there is a restriction on the free movement of people from Europe to UK and from the UK to Europe, there is essentially going to be a shortage of manpower in the UK, because people in the UK, especially Europeans who are living in the UK, because of Brexit, might consider moving back to their home country or somewhere else in Europe. They would not want to stay in UK once the Brexit completely happens. That will be in December 2020. So once that happens, once the Europeans leave the UK to go back to their home country, there will be some vacancies within the companies in the UK which will be up for grabs for people from all over the world. Now, there is a high inflow of manpower of people from Asia. Everyone who's living in Asia thinks about things once, at least, in their life of moving to the UK. Now, because there is going to be that shortage, there's going to be that vacancy, people from Asia, especially from countries like India, China, and stuff like that, people from these countries can have a chance in securing jobs at companies in the UK. Now, the way the visa sponsorship system works in the UK is that anyone who's coming from an Asian country has to apply. Not everyone, but most of the Asian countries, most of the Asian people have to apply for a visa sponsorship. You won't get a visa sponsorship if there are no vacancies, but now because of Brexit, since there are going to be more vacancies, there are really high chances of you securing a job in the UK and getting work sponsorship. That means when you move to the UK, whether it's for studies or whether it's for work, there are chances that you are going to get job opportunities. I'm not really sure about it, but because of the free movement of people, so what I want you to understand at this in Brexit is that people until now, Europeans and the British people included, had this thing in their life. I mean, they had this freedom to move, to go anywhere in Europe without even thinking about going there. I mean, they could just book a flight and they could go there. But now it's not going to be the same case. Because of that, some Europeans are going to go back to their home countries. And once that happens, there will be some vacancies within the UK, which Asian people should make use of, because there are lots of Asian people who want to go get into the UK and look for jobs and gain work experience. Moreover, the 2-year the 2-year post-study work visa scheme that UK has re-implemented means that the UK government is aware that there is going to be a shortage of people in the UK, and that is why it is inviting people from all over the world, from especially from Asia, especially people from India, because there are lots of people who go from India to the UK for work or for study. So it is inviting people from India to apply for work. It is not inviting, like formally calling people, but it is leaving the door slightly open. There are conditions to it. If you still decide to move to the UK and work, you will need to get a visa sponsorship. You will have to get a job first. But at the same time, things are looking more positive for Indians at the moment. I have explained everything that I've spoken here on a blog that I will link in the description box below. And any information, any question that you might have about Brexit or about how it's linked to why I think Brexit is a good option now for Asian people to move to the UK, then you can, if you have any question that did not get answered in this video, then you can reach out to me. I'll link up my contact details below as well, so you can reach out to me. You can ask me any questions about work, study in the UK, or anything. And the 2-year post-study work visa scheme, I'm going to create another video that in which I'll explain what that is, how that is beneficial for students who are wishing to go to the UK from India. And for this video, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have a question, then do reach out to me. Thanks.